All right, now we have our hands on the Ellen Widboom Xcaliber. I can tell you that I've never thrown Excalibur before. I looked at it on the chart, I'm like, way too much beef for me, don't need it. But since Ellen was gracious enough to be a part of the video, we did pick up her Tour Series disc. You should pick up one too. Now these discs are 12-speed drivers. 5 glide, 0 turn, and 4 for the fade. Yes, 4 is for real. As far as the disc in the hand, Star Plastic, you know what Star Plastic feels like. If not, then you don't need it, because there's no reason for you to have it if you don't know what. No, but anyway, the Star Plastic is a premium plastic from Innova. This, not really domey. It's a little domey, but not a pop top by any means. Of course, it's going to have that wide 12-speed rim. I like the slope that it has here on the edge. Again, it just goes into being comfortable in the hand. It was a little warm out here today, so not sweaty hands, but moist hands, and you still have good grip when it comes to it. Now, normally I wouldn't have even considered throwing an Excalibur, because that 4 for the fade is just, it's monstrous. It's something that I would never feel myself needing. But thanks to Ellen and being a part of this video, we had to throw them and see what we could do with them. So with that being said, let's head to the field and see how they throw. All right, starting out with a little bit of exploratory, throwing a disc, not knowing exactly what it's going to do, but believing in its numbers. And I throw that out wide, and you see that it does definitely have a 4 for a finish. Again, this looks like the same shot from a different angle. But it definitely comes back in, and it always seems to have some ground play, which can be a good thing if you're predicting it. This right here is a low shot, seeing how I can get it to skip. And I will say that that was a good 30-foot skip from where it initially landed to where it ended up. Again, just throwing some out there to see how they go. Very much believing in the disc as far as its numbers, its torque resistance too, because any other disc I throw on that angle would definitely not come out, would have definitely burnt into the ground, and would not have attempted to finish on a line that it was actually thrown on. I think this is the same shot from a different angle. You can just see how much angle it is given. Just trusting that it's going to come back, and it does, and finish. That's one thing I can say about the Excalibur. I was able to turn it over once, but of course that was just a very bad throw and trying to really power over on the disc. That one's not on the video here, but outside of that, I had no qualms with really just putting it out there and knowing that the disc is going to come back to the line of play. Here I'm throwing with a power forehand grip, which is something I don't do with other discs because of their tendency to turn it over or put too much on it. But here with these Excaliburs, they just throw some of the smoothest looking forehands that I've done in a long time. There's that high angle again, knowing that it is going to come back to the line of play. It's a very beefy disc. When Ellen was out, she did a few rollers here, so I was going to try my hand at some too. I don't really do forehand rollers, but it's nice to know that I can with an Excalibur if I need to. This one's I'm gonna put down a little bit sooner, and I put it down with a lot of angle, but it's an Excalibur, so it keeps going, it stands up. And that there is the Excalibur doing its work.
All right, guys, today we are doing a review of the Innova Excalibur, the Ellen Widboom Tour Series. Now, Ellen was awesome enough to agree to take part in this review. So thank you, Ellen, for that. You were fantastic. We had a great time reviewing these discs and watching you throw them. So thank you, can't say enough. Go out and get your hands on one of these or 4 like we did to help support Ellen and keep her on the road. So these are in the Star Plastic. This is the typical Star Plastic blend that you would get from Innova. The disc itself is relatively flat, not too much of a dome to them, maybe a little bit more on this yellow one. The rim is a typical 12-speed rim, you know, pretty wide, still comfortable to grip in the hand itself. I'm able to get a good power grip and establish a good amount of actual grip on it because of the plastic. Doesn't feel like it's gonna slip out of the hand or anything like that. Easy to grab, relatively flat. The bottom edge is smooth. There is no bead to it itself. Both of these are pretty similar in their profile. So let's take them out into the field and see how they actually fly. All right, we have the Excals in action in the field. These first initial throws, really I was giving it close to 90% on these because of the numbers. I knew that they were going to be overstable. Just wasn't expecting this. They are extremely overstable with a lot of finish. When they get to the ground, I know this grass on this field is pretty low, but you get a good amount of reaction and ground play with these discs, just because of the stability and the speed itself. Coming out of the hand though, these actually felt really comfortable. For some high-speed drivers, you kind of have an issue where you maybe feel like they're going to come out a little soon if your hands aren't necessarily big enough to handle that size of rim. That's not the case with these. These, even though they are a higher speed, a high speed 12, they feel really comfortable and clean coming out of the hand. So the releases were not the issue. Throwing these on forced flex lines, or trying to anyway, you can see the disc just wants to fight its way out and find its way to the ground immediately. So there's a lot of reliability there. Just trying a force flex forehand, you know, a lot of wobble coming out of the hand, but the disc itself will correct and finish out. This was a lot smoother, really just more of a straighter forehand. Again, you see that ground play just come into action every time. And again, just baby Anheuser force flex forehand with a lot of finish to the right, good amount of flare. And of course, with something this stable, you want to try a forehand roller. And as long as you get the angle down, these will go for a while. This particular roller stayed up on that cut line for a while, got past those field goal posts and finished up to the left eventually. So really solid for rollers overall. You know what it's going to do. It is overstable in every way.
Hi, Ellen Widboom here, and I am actually holding my 2019 Tour Series disc, the Excalibur. Super stable driver, distance driver, 12 speed. It's a 0.4 for turn and fade. I like to use it in headwind shots a lot. It's really reliable for the fade. It always comes back, and I can usually rely on it heavily for a skip at the end of the flight pattern as well. And every once in a while, it's good for a roller, a forehand flick roller, if I want something to go pretty much straight for the flight path and then to fade out right at the end. So to get around trees or any obstacles in my way. And okay. And yeah, check them out, they're online. And then I actually have 2 discs here, follow Ace Run Productions. I will sign one or both of them and follow them for a chance to win both of these Tour Series Widboom Xcaliber discs from Innova Champion Discs.
The Ellen Widboom Team Series Excalibur is getting a rating of in the bag. That is a stretch for me, being that I came in not expecting to like the disc at all. I can say that the disc was very predictable with the 04. You always knew which way it was going to finish. On forehand, just magical. I was able to actually power grip forehand this one, which is something that I don't do with any other disc, but with this disc it was nice and smooth when it came out, nice and predictable. Backhand, it's workable, which is what you're looking for, and you always get that nice dependable skip flare at the end. Now the Excalibur isn't going to be for everyone, but for me it's in the bag.
All right, so for the Excals, for me, they're getting a final review of in the garage. I mean, my noodle arm just can't handle what these discs can do. Hats off to you, Ellen, for what you can do with these discs. They're magic in your hands. For me, they're more of a utility disc at best. They are, you know, a power forehand disc if you need to get something to get over immediately right, or if you need something to finish immediately left out of your hand, that's what they would be used for. I have a disc in my bag that kind of does that now, and it's not quite as fast as this one. So for me, they just weren't that comfortable of a fit. Overall though, very predictable disc. It does its numbers. It will fade out every time, regardless of what angle you put it in, how much headwind you're throwing them into. These are gonna do their job and they're gonna do their numbers each time. But for me, like I said, they just aren't a good fit, so they're going in the garage. Just wanted to give a quick shout out again and a thank you to Ellen Widboom. These are her Tour Series discs, the Excalibur. You can find them on the Innova factory site, but go out and grab some. They help keep her on the road, keep her on tour, and support her as she's going around the country playing. She was really awesome and gracious enough to help us out with these. And again, she has 2 signed discs that she's given away to 2 lucky winners that are going to be selected at random from the drawing and contest that we're going to have for this. Give her a follow on Instagram. She is at Widboom Xcaliber on Instagram. She posts some cool pics and videos of her going out throughout the US and touring. So give her a follow, support her, pick up some of these discs. And thank you again, Ellen. We really appreciate everything you did for us and helping us out. And we wish you the best of luck in the coming season.
Well, I didn't get to get in the thank you video. Let's say all that again.
And thanks again, Ellen, for signing a couple of these discs. These are not the ones that are going to go out. She signed the other discs that are going to go out to 2 lucky winners that will be selected at random. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll let you guys know how you can enter into that contest to take home a couple of Excals for yourself to try out. So stay tuned. We'll have more info on that. And thanks again for checking out Ace Run Productions. Thank you, Ellen Widboom.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
What speed are these? I don't even know the numbers. I don't think they're 12.
Pretty sure they're 12.
I'm pretty sure they're 13.
I think they're 13? I think they're that fast? 12.504.
12.504. I believe it.
Out really is to go out into the field and test them. I didn't say anything about the rim, nothing. Nothing, just terrible. Let's see if I can't just do this.
Dude, you weren't recording at all.
What?